Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Joy of Sticks. Stickhead here with your Atari ST gaming channel, and that was the introduction to Dogs of War, one of the best intros on the Atari ST. I mean, how late 80s action film is that? Just brilliant. Yes, as I say, this is Dogs of War. It was released by Elite Systems in 1989. Interesting to note that Elite Systems are also the guys who did the conversion for Ikari Warriors, which, if you've played that game, you'll see the similarities in this. And as far as I'm aware, Elite, I think I'm right in saying this, either Elite Systems or the team that are around this game anyway, went on to become Vectordine. And Vectordine are the company that did they did Fire and Brimstone, which is a good game, but they also went on to do the James Pond game, so James Pond, Robocard, and it was Aquatic Games, was it? Stuff like that. And they went on to make games on consoles as well, so, you know, quite a success story. Anyway, yeah, so that's, who are those people? Steve Back. No, it doesn't say his name on this title screen here, but I'm pretty sure he was involved in the design of this game. Tim Coupe, not sure, but anyway, he programmed it, and you can see there graphics by Chris Sorrell and music by David Whittaker. And as I say, this team went on to Vectordine, and they also did Spitting Image. I don't know if you remember that video that I did a while back, but yeah. So anyway, should we crack on? We want a one-player game, please. Hello. I'm pressing one. 5-button one. Okay. As far as I'm aware, this game, I mean, it shares a title with an early 80s film called Dogs of War, obviously, which is about a band of mercenaries, and I can't really remember much about it, but they're hired to assassinate a president, something like that. It's a Frederick Forsyth book, so, you know, it's quite a famous book. And it was made into a film. Okay, yeah, as I was saying, I don't think it's based on the film, but it kind of loosely takes the idea. A bit of artistic license going on, I think. Oh look, we can go to the UK. My young son has been kidnapped by a band of ruthless terrorists. I will pay you $10,000 if you can safeguard his return. Will do. Now, when I first got this game, I found it in a shop in like a little plastic blister pack, and I think it was £2. Bearing in mind, like, budget games were £8-9 by that point. You know, full box games were 25 quid. Finding an ST game in the wild at this point was probably quite rare, because they were getting less and less commercially viable. So that was exciting, but also for £2. So I bought a few of these blister pack games, not expecting them to be any cop whatsoever, but then imagine my surprise when I got home and it was this. And anyway, me and my friend, we really enjoyed this game, and it was well worth the £2. Now, one of the reasons we enjoyed it was because we were teenagers and there was tons of guns to choose from, so on this screen buying your weapons was so cool. Anyway, so obviously the best weapon in the game right here was the minigun. The problem is the minigun is so expensive and chews up so many bullets, you run out of bullets within like minutes, so it's never the best one to choose on your first go through. So this was my friend's favourite machine gun, I seem to remember, so in his honour I'll buy one of those. Now you need to make sure you buy the right ammo, so we need 7.62mm. So that's that one. Alright, so we buy plenty of ammo, absolutely plenty of ammo, because as you can imagine, a game like this based on an 80s action hero, you need tons and tons of bullets to kill tons and tons of enemies. Now we need something to take out the heavy vehicles and stuff like that, so I think I'll be buying the cheap rocket launcher, and that uses 40mm rockets. That must be these here, yeah. 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's it, I can't afford any more. Oh, might have gone a bit overboard on the other weaponry. And the thing was, we used to play about with this loads. I don't think we really maybe we once in a blue moon completed a mission. I don't know, but that wasn't the joy of it. The joy of it was trying out all these different weapons and choosing favourites and trying to be all showy by, choosing a Colt 45 and doing the whole level with a Colt 45 and stuff like that. But yeah, very cool. What does view mean? Does that it means have a look at what you've got. And obviously you can accumulate this. So if we complete this mission, we'll get 10 grand. I could buy that minigun, or whatever. As it goes, we've got a machine gun. And I should point out the strengths of each thing, really. Handguns are cheap, which is always good. You got assault rifles. I don't know, is that not automatic? You get like automatic assault rifles, which have good distance. You got submachine guns, which fire really rapidly but don't go as far. You got machine guns, which are best of both worlds, but they're really expensive. You got the minigun, which is the ultimate gun, but ridiculously expensive. You got rocket launchers for vehicles. There's even a flamethrower. Probably should have bought the flamethrower, really. Grenades. You know the drill. Right, come on, let's go and see what the game looks like. Let the mission begin. So yeah, I mean, gameplay-wise, it's Atari Warriors. It's Commando. It's that kind of game, really. But just those extra trimmings of being able to buy your own weapons and stuff like that is really cool. Now, one of the good bits about the control is if you're pressing a direction and then you press the fire button, he runs and fires in that direction. Now, if you press fire and then press a direction, he stands still and shoots, kind of like a turret, I suppose. And you can get obviously the 8 different directions of the joystick, but if you tap it slightly in the diagonal you want, you can get another direction of fire, which is quite a cool little touch. It's quite hard to get that going on this machine gun because it doesn't fire as quickly as, say, the minigun or one of the submachine guns. Oh, blood and guts everywhere. And yeah, you get 3 lives, and basically you've just got to complete the mission, and they're all pretty much the same. The scenery changes, but apart from that, it's all the same kind of stuff. Kill men. Occasionally you'll come to things like gun emplacements or armoured vehicles, and oh my word, can't get that slightly. Ooh. Yeah, and it gets quite frantic, obviously. Ooh, almost got shot. But yeah, really simple gameplay. If you've played Atari Warriors, you've played it. Now let's see if we can blow up this Jeep. So if I press a key on the left hand side of the keyboard, it brings up my alternative weapons. So let's try and time that. There he goes, the Jeep is gone. Now, obviously I only bought 3 rockets, which might be a bit of an issue. And obviously we're playing up to the Rambo stereotype here, aren't we? One man takes on an entire army and somehow wins the day. Alright, here we go, coming up to an interesting part now, because this is what the levels on this do, which obviously Commando and Atari Warriors don't. It starts to scroll the other way. I mean, that's not really, doesn't massively change the gameplay or anything, but it does kind of introduce a little bit of variety, which is nice. And then on these sections you tend to get those gun emplacements and mines. So yeah, oh my word, it's quite nice to take that out, but I've got so few rockets. Let's see if I can be clever about where I'm standing. No, I can't. You have failed your mission. So there you go. Anyway, that's a nice, quick, short and sweet one today. That's Dogs of War. It's just great fun, and obviously loads more fun in a 2-player co-op mode. So yeah, I highly recommend you give it a go. For £2, do you know what I mean? I mean, what a bargain! Absolutely brilliant. Right, I did find a couple of reviews. Let's see. Ace Magazine gave it 650 squargle flagles out of 1,000. So not a great score, but they did say it's a graphical improvement over Atari Warriors, and we saw that, didn't we? The shading and the colouring of the sprites, I think, is much better, and there's like a bit more variety in the scenery and stuff like that. They said that David Whittaker's soundtrack is bearable, which is harsh. I really like David Whittaker, and you know, he's got a certain style. When you hear one of his tracks, you're like, yeah, that's a Whittaker. So yeah, I think that's a bit harsh, but it says it's much better in 2-player. I have to agree with that. And it criticises using the keyboard to swap weapons. Now, well, what it says is it doesn't suit the fast pace of the gameplay, which I can see. You know, it's quite frantic. So, you know, you're trying to wrestle with the joystick and then press a key at the same time. You've got to take one hand off the joystick. So it's not ideal. But to be frank, how else are you going to do it? Do you know what I mean? It's a 16-bit computer. It's got one button. What are you going to do? Hold the button to change, but then you can't hold the button to auto fire. I'm alright with reaching over to the keyboard to change weapon now. As if you think tactically ahead, right, I've got to take out this Jeep, but I'll take out all the people first, and then I'll hit the key, and then, you know what I mean? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. And it says it's too hard, which, you know, you can see I was wiped out in minutes, and it is quite hard. And they say frustrating hours trying to last longer than 5 minutes. I can see that, to be fair. It is a bit too difficult, but still, you know, I have completed missions in the past. It's not impossible. You just got to kind of take your time with it. It's got quite frantic gameplay, and you want to be Rambo, you want to get in there, guns are blazing, but really, if you edge forward and look at your angles and stuff like that, you make more progress. So it's kind of at odds with its own game design in that way, really. Games Machine liked it a bit more. They gave it 83%. Again, they criticised the difficulty, and again said it was more fun in 2-player. And they actually said it's the best dual-player shoot and run game you can buy. So there you go, better than Atari Warriors, it thinks. I love the way it calls it a shoot and run. It's like the days before these kind of genres were set in stone. So funny. Nice compact graphics, I agree. It says it's a bit repetitive, and it is. It is. Really, it's the kind of game you put on for a quick blast, 10 minutes, bit of fun, switch it off, you don't have to think again. Music is marginally above average, it says again. David is getting a hammering in these reviews, but it likes his sound effects. Alright, so there you go, David, you're alright with that one. And I love the kind of Sun tabloid style headline here, Canine Carnage. Great, well done guys. Go to the top of the class. Anyway, that's Dogs of War. If you've played it, let me know. Weigh into the comment section down below. It's always great to hear from you, and starting a conversation with you guys is one of the main reasons why I do these videos. Always a great time. So yeah, make sure you do, and you know, throw me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see some more. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.